My name's Beau Hughes, and one of the aspects of my story that God has redeemed and is redeeming is that I've struggled for my entire life with depression. When I was 3 years old, I think my parents began to notice some things, some habits that I was exuding in my sort of reactions and in my fits that were a little bit abnormal in their minds. And so finally they took me to the doctor, and I think between the ages of 3 and 4, the doctor actually gave my mom an antidepressant, and I didn't really have a framework for what was going on, but once they labeled it and actually said, "You're depressed, you're clinically depressed," and I began to take medication, that label, that name that they gave to what I was feeling, it was really difficult for me. I hated it. That struggle never really went away. So from 8 years old, I mean, I can remember all the way up until honestly college, when I became a Christian, my freshman year of college, just really struggling. Just the fact that I knew something was wrong, I knew something was broken in me. And so I continued on in my Christian life. I got married and actually became a pastor right after I became a Christian. And as I grew in my faith and as I began to learn more and more about what causes the sadness of our hearts, what causes the discouragement that so often can cripple us and paralyze us. A couple of years into marriage, I decided to spend a season trying to wean off the medication, which, let's see if there's something more than just biochemistry happening here. Let's see if there's really something in my heart that I've never addressed, even as a Christian. So when I got off the medication, it was brutal. And of course, my wife was with me, and the elders of the church, they knew what was going on, and I was going to see a biblical counselor, and it was like when I stopped taking that medicine, I reverted back to the emotional intelligence of an 8-year-old. So what I had struggled with at 8, that I had just gotten medication for, all of a sudden at 28, with the medication and the shield that it provided covering some of the symptoms removed, it was unbelievably dark. And the Lord is not as much intent on taking away the pain as He is on teaching you to trust Him through it, which is something I had never done.
It was really difficult watching Beau go through all this. He just had a lot of really dark days and was just very discouraged and just in a place of, honestly, a lot of times despair. And I tried to fix it in a lot of different ways, and my efforts just weren't working. And so I devoted a lot of time to just praying for him and surrendering it to the Lord myself. I had a lot of compassion for him at that time, and the Lord really gave me just a supernatural amount of just love and care for him. And there are definitely still days where he goes into discouragement and into despair, and I'm able to see those coming normally, and babe, get away for a couple hours and just be with the Lord. And even praying for myself, as I don't necessarily often have the patience that I did 4 years ago, just begging the Lord to give me patience with it as well, and even compassion and grace for him and his struggle.
And that season, that long season, was for a couple of years, and I don't even remember when, and I started to feel some reprieve, but I do remember when I began to trust the Lord more than I ever had before, and that was a daily thing where it felt like 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And there's still days, even yesterday was a day where I just woke up and that old familiar feeling was there of discouragement, and so another opportunity to look to the Lord, to lean on those around me, and to trust Him to continue this good work that He started in me, to believe that what He started, He'll bring it to completion.